I'm super curious. How much is everybody spending in groceries each month? We're probably doing about $1,700 a month. It's nuts.
This is $73. This is a problem. This should be no more than $30.
That inflation is unreal.
$121.
We can't afford groceries right now.
Nearly everyone I've talked to recently is just like, yeah, haha, I can't really afford groceries. Guess I just have to cut it down to 2 meals a day. And
How do y'all grocery shop?
I've been trying to figure out if I've been got $500 on the groceries.
Is it just me, or the prices are going up and the containers are getting smaller?
This is getting out of hand.
You are spending too much money on groceries.
Anything that is pre-packaged, pre-made, prepared by someone, they're gonna upcharge you.
This is what I'm supposed to feed my family on for $437 a week.
If you had no money and you were starving and you had no food, how would you eat?
All right, I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. So the topic of conversation for today is the rise of grocery prices. We have seen everything go up and people are just trying to keep up with the times. And we're going to look at every scenario here. Examples of people doing it right, but they're spending way too much money. Some people who could do things differently in order to save money. Some examples of ways we all can save money inside of the grocery store. And we're going to end it off with this video right here that is not necessarily pertaining to groceries themselves, but a question that I pose to you. What would you do if you had no money and you were starving? But before we do that, make sure that you guys like, comment, also subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers. And with that, let's get into this video.
Groceries are expensive as shit right now. Look at this. Items purchased, exact 30 items purchased in 2022, $70.29. Same items purchased, the same 30 items now, $165. That crazy. Inflation is unreal. What are we supposed to do nowadays to help our families? This is insane. We need to get control of this, guys. We're like, my mind is blown. Like, this is just insane to me. Does anybody else feel like this?
Let me tell you, I used to take about $200 to the grocery store every time I went. And when I went inside of Walmart, I could not see the bottom of my basket. Food was everywhere. I couldn't see the floor as I pushed the cart to the checkout. But now, you take $200 in Walmart if you want to, you will be upset. You will be disappointed. And I'm somebody who buys the same thing every time I go inside of the store. I'm a fitness freak, all that, whatever you want to say, but I know exactly what I buy, and it has been the same thing every time. $200 used to buy me around 3 to 4 weeks worth of groceries. $200 now, with the protein stuff I buy, I'll be lucky to get a week and a half.
I just want to say that it's fucking wild that as a 2-income household, my husband and I have come to the realization we can't afford groceries right now. Like, just straight up can't afford groceries, because if we buy groceries, then we either won't be able to pay our rent or our electric bill, because both of those come out of this pay cycle and they will take the entire pay cycle. That's fucking bonkers. That's so fucking wild. We have 2 incomes and we cannot afford to eat, and we don't even have kids. Like, it's literally just the 2 of us and we can't afford to eat with 2 incomes. That is just, but I mean, I guess, you know, that means we won't have to wash dishes because our dishwasher is still broken, as it has been for 2 months at the place that we pay so much in rent, you know. Wild.
Now, if you don't take anything away from that particular video, just know where they're staying, where they're renting has to be horrible. On top of that, they don't have any kids and you have 2 incomes to buy groceries with. And that tells me that wherever they're renting is pricing them out of the rise in grocery prices, and they just simply can't afford it because their rent is probably so high. And so they need to be looking to relocate somewhere, or maybe wherever they stay is the cheapest that they can get, and it's still ridiculous because we know rent prices are crazy. That's a video for another day.
Nearly everyone I've talked to recently is just like, yeah, haha, I can't really afford groceries. Guess I just have to cut it down to 2 meals a day, and groceries are a little too much. Gotta see like how long I can get my food to last me. That's not a Why are we casually being like, yeah, we can't afford groceries? I can't. I literally eat like 2 meals a day. I barely eat out. I don't order stuff. I eat like 2 meals a day. Sometimes I'll just have a nap for dinner because I just can't keep buying groceries. Like, you're telling us all of us have jobs, and the people specifically I was talking to have like well-paying jobs, and we all just still can't afford groceries. I mean, we're single people living on our own, so like there's rent, but besides for just paying for rent, you should also be able to afford to live, to eat, to feed yourself, and we just literally can't do that right now.
And this is another case in point where rent may just be pricing her out, or another bill. We just don't know. And she said that she has a pretty good job, and where she stay at may play a factor into it. If you're making, I don't know, $75,000 in Mississippi or Alabama, somewhere like that, you're probably living pretty good. But if you're making that same amount of money in New York or Cali, you're basically at the bottom of the barrels in some places because your expenses to live are just so high.
Okay, I have a question. How do y'all grocery shop? And I know that sounds crazy, but I feel like I'm grocery shopping wrong. And yeah. So it's just me and my daughter. We don't really eat heavy, or I don't even know how to say that. Like, I don't snack. She brings her lunch. We just don't eat excessively. But as you know, groceries are high. And it's not that I feel like we're wasting food, but I'm trying to make my grocery bill smaller. But then it's like, I don't even know how to explain what I'm trying to avoid. But let's just use this as an example. And I'm using eggs. I know eggs are expensive. So let's think beyond the fact that they're high. If you had this amount of eggs left, so this is 6 eggs, would you go ahead and buy more eggs so when these 6 run out, or would you just let them run out and then buy eggs? So are you buying food and already having it available, or are you only buying food when it runs out? Just like these. My daughter, she drinks one of these every day before school, so that's 5 days a week. Well, she has 3 left. Do you go ahead and buy them? The more that I ask this, I feel like it sounds dumb, but then it also makes sense to me in my head because I'm like, I don't want my grocery bill to be so high. But then also, if she drinks those 3 and then I go on Wednesday to replace them, it's like I might as well have purchased them. I don't know if this makes sense. It's a random thought, but I'm just like, I feel like I'm buying groceries wrong because why every time I go to the store, it's high.
All right, now I recommend a combo approach right here. If you know your daughter is going to use that every single day, buy it in bulk. Certain items are worth buying in bulk. Now, for eggs, just buy whenever you run out. You're not going to be upset if you run out of eggs that day. But your daughter may be like, disappointed that you ran out of that juice that day. You kind of have to play it towards your own habits. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody should grocery shop different. I am proud, though, that you don't snack like other people do and then say, well, I can't afford groceries, but you got 85 bags of chips.
I've been walking around this house confused as hell since I've been back from the grocery store. I just spent $78.39 and nothing can go in my mouth or my belly. Bitch, I'm finna take this shit back. Let me show you guys what I got. I've been trying to figure out if I've been got. Nothing here can go in my belly at all. While I was at the register, I kept looking to see if I was scanning things more than once. I stopped at my car. I said, this can't be right. Now I'm home and I just carried in 3 bags that I could have brought in on my bad shoulder, my bad arm. And I said, this is not lining up. What did I get? What the hell type shit is this? This is all I got. This all I got. What is this? Now, I got 1 potting mix downstairs. I'm ready to put up the buggy. I see this hanging off at the side. So this one was free. Do you think I was going to walk back in there and say, hello, sir? I forgot to pay for this. I made it outside. Okay. So this one was on the side. Didn't see it. I just said, I don't know. I feel like things are missing from my cart. I'm pulling off, about to go about my business. Why do I see my earthworm casting outside? Nobody ran over it, no nothing. I picked that bitch up because this one was free too. If you think I was gonna go back inside and volunteer, my receipt is $78.39 and I don't have anything to eat. And I bought a case of water for $3. You think I was gonna go back inside and offer up my money? I gotta take something back.
And looking at the stuff that she got, man, she got a lot of the stuff that back in the day, this what we got because we didn't want that Febreze. Like Glade was the go-to back in the day. Now you used to use that whole can before something smelled good. But that's what we used to go to in the hood now. And then looking at this, she got the little plug-in thing as well. She got great value, lemon in the back, store brand items. She's trying her best not to spend no money. However, even those items, expensive now. Expensive. It is what it is. I have said now, and I'm somebody who likes my house to smell good. I used to buy the Glade plugins. I'm now probably just gonna run around the house with incense, man. I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. Let me know if y'all got a way I can make this house smell wonderful at the same time without spending an arm and leg on them Glade plugins, man.
How much are y'all spending on groceries? Because $492 on groceries without food stamps is crazy work. Let's go grocery shopping for me and my 6 kids. I hope I can stay under budget. I go soft about $5. Do y'all remember these? This is all I ate growing up. $598? Ridiculous. What do you do when you're done all you can?
Oh my goodness.
$500 some dollars on the groceries. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm a little confused on what my mom and daddy used to mean when they said we don't have McDonald's money. Because in this type of economy, the groceries are grocerying and they're expensive. You can get milk, but you can't afford the cereal. You wanna make spaghetti, but you can only afford the noodles. So what's tea? Because the McDonald's $5 meal, that Happy Meal, is sounding a little bit more reasonable these days.
Now, I will say I still believe that eating at home will always be cheaper, even if you go and buy, let's say, a bulk load of ground beef, some buns, some fries, cook it yourself. You can probably do that and eat some leftovers for a couple of days. Now, that's the thing, though. A lot of people don't like leftovers. Now, me, mama didn't cook all them days of the week. Monday, you might have had a fresh meal. Thursday, you might have had a fresh meal. And then Sunday, which in my honest opinion, sometimes tastes better than when it was originally cooked.
Let's talk about how I went to the supermarket yesterday, not to go grocery shopping, just to buy a few things for dinner. This is my receipt. I spent $153. On what? Glad you asked. I spent $14 on ribs, a pack of ribs. We made ribs for dinner last night. $14 for ribs. And it wasn't even enough for a family of 3 because I have a boy. Boys eat like baby dinosaurs. So I had to buy 2 packs. Second pack cost me $9. Why? Because they were the tiny baby ones. I'm making more cheesecake brownies. The Hershey's chocolate chips, $8. Rounded off $8 because it was $7.49. Eggs were on sale for $6.99. Yay! 18 eggs. The other day I bought 18 eggs. $13. 4 eggs. That's right. The milk, $6. Orange juice was on sale. We don't even buy orange juice in this house because it's too expensive. It was 3 for $10. Is it just me, or the prices are going up and the containers are getting smaller? So if you don't think inflation is real, go check out the prices in your supermarket. They're real. I'm in New York City. A small tin of coffee, $7. My son likes Dave's Killer Bread, $7. Ice cream was on sale. That's the only reason why I got it. Ice cream is $10 for a gallon. A pint is $8. I can't even afford to get fat. I need olive oil. Did I buy it? Absolutely not. Why not? Because at the supermarket it's $30. I can buy 2 bottles of olive oil at BJ's for $30. Inflation is real, people, if I need to say it again. I don't care where you live. I don't care what you say. We struggling. Happy Sunday.
Now, I want to touch on that point she was talking about. It seems like the containers are getting smaller. I remember when I used to be a chip connoisseur. Now, I don't eat chips now. I don't remember the last time I bought a bag of chips. But what I will say is I feel like, and it could just be me, Back when I used to buy chips, the bag was full of potato chips, but now it's full of O2, nothing but air in them bags. Less chips, more money. It don't make no sense.
How are we doing? Went to the grocery store. Let me show you what I got. It was just a quick run. Trash bags, a few command strips, only 2 pre-made food things, and 2 little Easter basket type things that I'm gonna put in. Little magnets. That's it. That's all I got. $121.
Telling you, can't go in Walmart without spending almost $100 on stuff that you didn't think was supposed to be that much. It happens every single time.
This is getting out of hand. It's to a point where people can't live. And I just want to show you something. This right here, I just went grocery shopping for very basic things. Very basic. This amounted to $100. Like, this isn't even... You're telling me this is $100? This isn't even barely anything to feed me for a couple days. Literally just some chicken, eggs, rice, these things, I forget what they're called, and some juices, body wash, deodorant, some thank you cards, and seaweed. $100 for this?
And that's why I always say, buy in bulk if you can afford to buy in bulk. And if you can't, I'm going to let some people explain ways that I think are great ways, great examples that you may be able to save a cent or a dollar or two inside of the grocery store.
You are spending too much money on groceries, and if you are concerned about the current state of the economy and need to start saving some money, first thing you should be looking at is your grocery list and cutting back there. I hear people talking about all the time how expensive groceries are, because they are really expensive. However, if you plan out your list and grocery shop with a purpose, I promise you, you can bring your bill way down. My husband and I have been living off a $50 a week grocery budget for 3 years. We lived outside of Cleveland, and now we live in the city of Chicago, and that has still stayed the same. And these are the 3 steps I suggest that you start implementing weekly before you go grocery shopping. Number 1 is only buy what you need. You're probably telling yourself, oh, I already do buy what I need and it's too expensive. No, you are buying a lot of snacks and a lot of fun drinks. Cut those out. If you're concerned about prices, cut those out and make those only special treats for special occasions. You need to buy real food that you can eat throughout the week and make a plan to eat all that food throughout the week. And if you don't finish it or you don't go through it all the time, freeze it. You can practically freeze almost everything. Just Google it, and then you can save that for another week. Number 2, the weekly ads are your best friend. For example, here is my weekly Jewel ad. All this produce on sale, that is the produce I am going to buy for the week. If whatever you like isn't on sale that week, buy generic. Try it, at least. Go to Aldi or just buy your regular grocery store's generic line. I promise you it's going to be way cheaper than anything name brand. Additionally, get familiar with your store's coupon program and then download Fetch and Ibotta and any other coupon apps to save some more money along the way. And finally, number 3, ties into the first 2 points. Never go grocery shopping without a list. I highly suggest you write down every single meal you need to make that week, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and from that list, you go and buy what you need. You buy things that can be used for multiple meals, so then that nothing goes bad and you are not wasting any of that money. I'm not saying that groceries aren't expensive, especially now that the prices have gone way up, but if you plan it out and you plan out your meals, you can significantly cut your grocery budget. And I feel like this is the time that you should start trying that.
All valid points for sure. I think we all can do a little bit better of a job of making sure we get what we need when we walk into the grocery store instead of getting something that we think we might need later. Or when it comes to me, sometimes I walk past stuff I need and forget all about it and get home and sit down and say, yeah, I needed that. And so this could be used for people who go in and don't get everything they need, as well as the people who get a little bit too much at times. Utilizing coupons and different things like that are also great ways. I think a lot of us are just too, lazy. Let's just be honest, to stack up coupons or do that type of thing. We're not really trying to do all that. You know what I'm saying? But if you find yourself in the situation where you need it, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Have you seen this video that's making its rounds of this lady? She went to the grocery store. She purchased groceries for a family of 4, and she's showing you that this is all she got for $294, almost $300.
October 2024. These are groceries that will last a week and a half to 2 weeks for my family of 4.
I'm gonna pause before we get into the serious topic or the serious conversation. Man, them Nutty Butters was good back in the day, boy. She got some good snacks up in here. Hold on, let me rewind now. She got some good
Is
in
all
this
she got
basket.
for $294, almost $300.
Now, me personally, I don't snack anymore. No chips, no debit cakes, none of that stuff. I don't buy that. She probably should have left this out. But she got some bananas, you know. She got some chicken over there. Those Jimmy Dean things are expensive. Anytime you prepackage or anytime you get something that is prepackaged, it's stupidly expensive. Way more expensive. Now, the ease of it, the convenience of it is what you're going to be paying for. The convenience tax is going to be taxing you. And just know, if you want to do that, that's cool, that's fine. But making it over time will save you money. It may not seem like it initially, but some people value just the speed of it, the time. But if you're complaining about the money part of it, you're going to have to put in a little more time and prepare some different things in order to not spend so much money when it comes to these Jimmy Dean packets, even though a lot of them are fire. You know what I'm saying? She got those ravioli. Those the ravioli ones? As a kid, those was fire. But we got a lot of processed stuff here. She's doing good with some stuff, and then some stuff is like, nah, you need it. You don't need that. You know, make a big old pot of spaghetti. You know what I'm saying? Make a big old pot of ravioli. You know what I'm saying? You can make some of that yourself, man. And then look at the Pringles. I'm gonna tell you though, the way she's eating, or the way that family is eating, that's some snacking family. That's a snacking family. I used to snack back in the day, but we you know, we lived in a different time back then. You know, I don't do that no more. Plus, I'm on my own now. Mama ain't putting food up in the refrigerator. I get home, I open the fridge. Sometimes it ain't nothing in it. It ain't just magically filling up with food no more. The reality of growing up, I'll be damned.
Groceries that will last a week and a half to 2 weeks for my family of 4. It should not cost this much.
And it's no shade to her or anything like that if she wants to feed her family snacks. However, anything that is prepackaged, pre-made, prepared by someone, they're going to upcharge you. Now, granted, groceries are higher than ever right now. What she spends for 1 week and a half to 2 weeks, I spend in 1 month for groceries for the house for a family of 4. I buy fruits, vegetables. We don't eat snacks. And even if we do eat a snack or anything like that, we go in the grocery store and buy things that are on sale. Buy one, get one free. Buy 2 for this. I have to learn how to shop. Like, this is just a clear indication that the art of shopping and cooking real food at home is missed. The lady has like packaged macaroni and cheese. She can buy noodles, some cheddar cheese, mix it up with some butter and some garlic. That's $5 for a family of 4. She had, I think it was maybe like 6 canisters of Pringles. Like, were they on sale? Because Pringles are expensive. And I think I saw a pre-made breakfast sandwich. Now, those things are expensive. You could buy English muffins for $2. Sometimes they're buy one, get one free. You can get the sausage and make it for yourself for way less. I spend about $40 to $60 a week on grocery shopping, and that's because we eat around the same things. We eat them in different ways, but it's usually the same. I got staples in my house. Tortillas, bread, milk, cheese, almond milk. That's what I mean. Eggs. I think that we don't take into account that a lot of the times your grocery bill is high because you have a lot of already pre-made stuff. Everything is pre-made. You just have to pop it into the microwave. But if you buy that thing, like I used to buy chopped up pineapples, that's $10 when someone else chops it up. When I buy the pineapple and I chop it up myself, it's $3. You got to shop smarter, not harder. And then you can start saving money on your grocery bill. I actually coach women on how to eat. And one of the things that one of the ladies pointed out in one of my last group coaching was that she used to spend $400 every week on groceries. With my coaching and teaching her how to eat, she only spends $40. That is a big difference because we are so accustomed to buying prepackaged, pre-made, already made, pop it in the microwave food. We don't want to make it ourselves. And when you make it yourself, it actually tastes better. Start looking at your grocery bill and start seeing what you're buying. Is it prepackaged, pre-made, already prepared? You're going to pay for that.
I did not hear one single lie told. Now, the thing about it is a lot of people don't like to cook and a lot of people don't like to eat the same thing twice in one day. And so I like to cook. I love leftovers. I think we save a lot of money that way. Now, I do spend a good amount of money on groceries, and a lot of times is when I'm re-upping on my protein stuff, whether it's a protein shake, a protein bar, and I do like pre-packaged meals sometimes, depending on if I'm having to do something very fast or if it's I had to rush for work or something like that. I like to just pop my breakfast in and get going. But most of the time, I'm waking up early, 4:30, 5 in the morning, making me breakfast and going to work. I like to do it that way. If I cook that one time, and it usually lasts a long time. That same meal for 2-3 days. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't like that. Some people don't like to do that, and it is what it is. I understand it. Just know that comes with a different type of tax. And now, the question of the hour: what would you do if you were doing everything right? You forgot your lunch one day. You had nothing to eat because you don't have any money at that time. We're gonna let this next video show you exactly what this guy did when he was hungry and he had no money.
Story time, y'all. Okay, so this story that I'm about to tell, it came from a question that I asked my son one day. I asked him, I said, if you had no money and you were starving and you had no food, how would you eat? He said, I don't know. What do you think you would do? What would you suggest? So I told him this story, and this is what happened. I told him, I said, I'm going to tell you this story about what I did when I was hungry. Okay, so I used to work for this chemical company about a few years back. I was a truck driver for them, and I didn't have any money on me at the time because I just started. So I had to wait about like 2 or 3 weeks for me to get paid because we got paid every 2 weeks. All right, so I didn't have any money, but I packed a lunch from home. But I went off and left it. So I had to drive from Memphis to Birmingham. It was like a 4-hour drive. And I had to go and pick up another truck. On my way there, I realized that I left my lunch and my stomach was hurting terribly. I was starving. So what happened is I knew I had to figure out a way to get something to eat. So it was a Carl's Jr. restaurant that was next door to the trucking company that I had to go and pick up the truck from, because I basically was just going up to Birmingham, dropping one truck off to pick up another truck, bringing it back to Memphis. So it was a Carl's Jr., which is, and those of y'all who are not familiar with Carl's Jr., it is actually an off branch of Hardee's. Okay, so I don't know if they, anyway, so it was a restaurant. I went inside and I asked for the manager. And I said, is y'all manager in? And it was about like 4 people that was in there. They said, nah, the manager stepped out for a second. Is there anything we can help you with? I said, yes. Is there a way that I can clean the tables or take out the trash or, maybe help sweep up the floor or something? And they looked at me real quietly. They like, well, why would you want to do this, sir? I said, because I'm starving. I said, I'm hungry. I have no money on me because I just started this job and I went off and left my lunch. And I'm a long way from Memphis. And I just want to get something in my stomach because I got these hunger pains that's killing me and I just need to get full. And they all looked at me and they just started going back in the back and they were like, what you want, a combo or something? I said, I don't care, anything that'll get me full. They cooked me a combo, a large combo, Frisco sandwich, large fries, large drink. They said, you don't need to do anything. I said, why not? You don't need me to offer anything for y'all? They said, look, you the only person that came in here that actually offered their services instead of just trying to get a handout. So the point I made and I told my son is that if you want to get something, you want somebody to give you something, offer yourself up of value.
Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this story. A man who was literally starving had to make a choice. Go in there, humble himself first, walk in there and say, hey, look, whatever y'all need me to do, I'll do it. I just need to get some food. And I know that story did not necessarily pertain to groceries, but I think there are a few things we can take away from it that could be incorporated in this video as a whole. One, sometimes people are doing everything right and a small boost can go a long way. That Carl's Jr. was that small boost for him in order to make it back to Memphis. And two, humbling yourself just so you can make a extra $1 or $2, even though he wasn't making money in this video, but in the grand scheme of things, in order to make a couple of dollars or $2, look, sometimes you have to do what you got to do in the times that you're in until you're able to pull yourself out of whatever you're going through. And so just know, just because you have to, I don't know, flip a burger or something or two or whatever it is so you can make a little bit extra income so you can afford the groceries that you want to afford, just know you're not alone. People out here every day, every single day, having to get it out the mud, you know. So do what you gotta do when you have to, so one day you ain't gotta do whatever it is anymore. Shout out to everybody out. If you're struggling, I hope you make it out. And with that though, subscribe to the channel and let me know what you think about this video. But until next time,